Hey everybody, Drew here from Pella Cars. Absolutely honored to bring you guys this gorgeous 2010 Prius. It's the 4 model, fully loaded, all the way up from southern Pennsylvania, where they only get 14 to 20 inches of snow per year. So it's incredibly rust-free underneath, which of course we'll get to in this video. It's got 121,986 miles on it, and it's been extremely well taken care of, which you will see as we go through as well. So the purpose of this video is to walk you around, show you the car's features, take you for a test drive, but also to point out as many flaws as possible that you wouldn't see, in the standard photos from these angles. While we're talking about that, we'll zoom up front here. And first and foremost, on the front bumper, these bumpers are made out of a flexible plastic, but then they have paint on top of that, of course, and finally what's called a clear coat, which is a hard coat of clear paint that protects the paint underneath it from the sun. And while the bumper's flexible, as you see, that clear paint isn't, and there's this hairline crack. Now the bumper's not cracked, just the clear paint on it is. So there's that, and also a little hairline crack there, and a little hairline, well, maybe not little, that's my hand. It'd be better to show you with like a dollar bill or something, but there's that little crack there. And being a 2010, it's just in a pearl white paint, by the way. What that means is see that shimmer, that sparkle that it has? That's very special, and it's expensive to fix. So, being a 2010 with the miles that are on it, it's being offered, the way it is with these couple imperfections. So, as we move along the side, the wheels are in great shape, the brakes are awesome, and these are almost brand new tires. They still have the little fuzzy things on them from the mold. There's probably about 95% tread left here, and they're good tires. Yokohama Avid Ascends. So on a scale from, the cheapest tire all the way up to the Michelins, these are definitely in the upper part of the top half, which shows, somebody that would spend that kind of money on tires wouldn't neglect an oil change. And speaking of which, all our cars come with a fresh full synthetic oil change and filter. This one actually just had it done at the Toyota dealership, which we'll get to that as well. Moving along the side, the pearl white paint. I'm not sure if you could see that on your screen. I'll zoom in again. It is just absolutely stunning compared to plain white. Like that Corolla right there, that is Toyota's super white. It's called their 040 is the paint code. It's super white. This car is painted that color, but then there's several layers of that clearish metallic pearl coat over it, and then finally it's clear coat, which just makes this car pop. I mean, that's the kind of paint job that I think like Cadillac made that famous in the 70s, maybe 80s. It's just a phenomenal paint job. Lexus painted most of their cars that color in the 90s. This is even more so. It's the Blizzard White Pearl, it's called, instead of Diamond White Pearl. Just a beautiful paint job. On the back, there's a couple, I guess you could call them creases, like scars in the bumper from where it bent backing into something. Again, these aren't, you stand at a normal angle and you can't even see these things. I just don't want anybody to be surprised. We don't want anybody to be surprised when you get here to test drive, or worse, if you buy it online and have it delivered. So just trying to point out as much as possible. Underneath, again, this is what makes this car special. Look at that. I mean, there's still paint from the factory. The nuts and bolts are still silver. Just no rust to speak of underneath it, which is awesome because these cars last forever, but if they rust out, they can't last forever. So, just want to show you that. It's very special. There's a bullseye in the taillight. That is, if this is a deal breaker for you, reach out. I might be able to source a taillight for it. Although it is important to keep in mind, this car is priced significantly under market value, given the flaws I've pointed out so far, and also considering the fact that it is Southern. A 2010 in Rochester would be all crusty and flaky and falling apart underneath. So, stuff like this, that's just, it comes with it. But if this is a deal breaker, reach out. We might be able to work through it. There is, on this side, not much to speak of except this. This is the biggest bummer on the entire car. There was a stone chip here, and it started to rust a little bit. And this is going to be cleaned out and touched up professionally, but that will remain. And again, that's a shame because it was otherwise, perfect. And it's insanely rust-free underneath. But, underneath is painted from the factory. This is painted from the factory. Anytime there's a chip, it doesn't take road salt in Rochester winters. This would happen even in the desert, you know, they do get moisture there sometimes, and if there's a stone chip, rust can happen. So just be aware of that. Again, we got great wheels, perfect brakes, tires that have at least 90, if not 90% of the tread left and still have the little fuzzies. This side has a door ding, which is hard to show you because we're in the shade now. Try to get it for you. I'm going to put my finger on it, then take my finger off. Can you see that? There you go, right in the center of your screen. It's a little door ding with a scuff. Pardon the plane above head. Our office is at an airport. Let's see what else. Little chip right. Actually, that's something on the car. Never mind, that'll come off. And again, the faded top of the headlights. So inside this car, the people that owned this were extremely fastidious. As you could tell, with expensive tires. They had a whole, like, layers of rubber floor mats on these mats. These have never, I think I'm the only feet that have ever touched these. The seats are in great shape. This is cowhide. So in 2012, they started with vegan leather. In 2010 and 11, this is cowhide. This is cowhide. This is vinyl. And this, as you could see, has failed a little bit there and there, which is unfortunately really common in modern cars. The cowhide should last the life of the car, especially if you take care of it. But the vinyl on the side, you can have this repaired. We could have this repaired. But again, given the year and the miles, it is just better for everyone to sell it with its normal flaws for its age, or less than normal, candidly. You know, and to sell it at a, you know, at a reduced price, other than, you know, make it absolutely perfect and, you know, take the vast majority of its audience, you know, out of the market for it. So, unfortunately, if that's a deal breaker, there's nothing we could do about it. Most likely reach out if you love the car otherwise, but it'll, you know, it has to come that way for the most part. So, this, by the way, that's just like hand lotion from years. That will come off. The steering wheel will be perfect. But other than that, inside, there's not an ill word to say about it. It doesn't have any smells whatsoever. It's not been eaten in. It's not been smoked in. Again, look at, you can see the little fingers from the rubber mat there made their impression. I mean, these have not been touched. It's perfect in here. It's incredible. When I say it hasn't been eaten in, evidence of that, there would be stains. As you can tell, I've been around cars for a really long time. There's no stains or spills or anything in between the seats and the center console, which again is an indication that it has not been even eaten in, and it's super obvious. Of course, when you get in it, there's no smells or anything like that. I'll show you under the hood, and then we are going to take a ride. It drives beautifully, like a new car, actually, if I could find the hood release. Something's up there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Engine's clean. These are absolutely wonderful motors. It's quite an upgrade over the 2004 through 9 in terms of power and efficiency. Let's see here. So being the Prius 4, the cowhide leather is heated. You can see let me see if I can show you the switches there. There's those for you, which is awesome. And they're push on, push off. So you don't have to turn them on every time you get in the car. If it's a cold week, they'll just stay on if you leave them on. You've got a navigation system, which is horribly outdated, but works great. And a backup camera, which is awesome. Again, we got 121,986 miles, and it just, as you see there, had a full synthetic oil change at the Toyota dealership. So unless it sits for a while before somebody buys it, that will remain, which is not usual, but it just got done, so we don't want to be wasteful. Just again, an absolutely wonderful car to drive. It's heavier and more stable than the older ones. Very, very smooth and actually peppy. Not so much like a brand new Prius. Those are lithium ion, and there's been a lot of revisions in the hybrid technology, but this is peppy. I mean, I'm barely on it. You can tell the car's not working hard at all, and we're already going almost highway speeds. And the goal here is to take you up to highway speeds. So we're almost going 60, and I'm going to take my hand off the wheel. And we're on a really crowned road, but as you see, we're driving perfectly straight, and then I'm going to jam the brakes, like hard. So as you see here, it doesn't shake, it doesn't shimmy, it doesn't pull. My hand is still off the wheel, and we haven't touched the shoulder yet. It drives literally like a brand new car. So I'm Drew. I hope this video was helpful for you. Like I said, not to beat a dead horse with its flaws, but we don't want any surprises, especially to our customers that buy online and have them shipped, which is becoming more and more common. You can do that, by the way. The website is www.pellacars.com, or you can just call me. We'd love to meet you in person and have you do a test drive. We're off the beaten path, so it's nice, peaceful roads. You get some fall colors, all that jazz. If you want to come test drive it, you can call me directly at 585-771-0111. And hey, if you liked this video a lot, if you found it entertaining or helpful for your car shopping that does not have to do with this specific car, feel free to give that a thumbs up. That actually helps the internet direct people to our channel, which helps our business. If you like the business model, the transparency, all that jazz, a thumbs up is appreciated. And if you really like these videos and you want to see more, you can subscribe to the channel. These are going to become quite precious as time marches on and these cars, age off the road. These videos will still be up in 30 years when you don't see these cars anymore. So if you want to reminisce down the road, just hit that subscribe button. And again, we appreciate the interest. Take care. Goodbye.